Hello, my name is Scott, and today I'll be showing you how to relace your nunchucks. If you ever had nunchucks that have frayed or broke, this is a video for you. I'm going to show you how to relace them from your stock nunchuck with the holes drilled. Okay. If you ever had a nunchuck break, it's not pretty, especially if you're in your dojo and they fly off and they hit a window. It's not pretty. So make sure you keep your maintenance up. If you see the string or the rope start to fray or break, replace it immediately. Don't let it go, because if you don't, it will fly off. Because you'll be in the middle of a move, throwing it around, and it'll go flying. So try not to let that happen. So today I'm going to show you how to do this. Items you need. Obviously, your nunchucks with the frayed or broken string. Take the string out, so you just have the wood by itself. You'll need a flathead drill bit, like I have here, or a flathead screwdriver. I prefer a flathead screwdriver. This is just all I have. Also, some super glue. Yes, super glue. I'll show you why. Some scissors and string. Okay, I have white and black. I prefer black for this project, so this is what we're going to use. First off, you can get this anywhere. Anywhere that they sell fishing line equipment, this is what this is. It's bass equipment, bass string. So it's not expensive. You get a huge roll. Look at this. Wow, a lot of string here. You get a lot, and it's only like $4 or $5. It's not bad. So this is what I recommend. It's also really sturdy, kind of stiff, so it's excellent for lacing. Okay, so if you have this, excellent. If you need to go buy some, it's not that big of a deal. It's a good investment because this will last you forever, unless you got a lot of wrapping or a lot of nunchuck making you gotta do. So first off, take some string and just pull it off and cut you off a large amount. I would suggest taking and getting about 6 feet worth, maybe more. The reason for it is, you want a long excess amount because you'd always rather have too much than not enough. So you start off by taking one of the ends and you lace it through the bottom hole of the nunchuck head, all the way through. Now I like, for this is just my personal preference, to tie this off. I'll show you why later. It just helps. If you don't tie it off, just make sure it stays at the side, just like this. Okay, now, you go all the way to the other end. At your other end. Now, you simply take it and you lace it up in the top hole, all the way up so it comes out the top. You then pull it all the way through. So it should have this little lace right here. Okay, so there we are. You set that down, and now you take the end and you go to your other side, the other nunchuck. Now this one, you start off by going in the top hole. You take it and you slide it through. Hopefully it'll come out one of the holes without too much effort. If you have to use your drill bit, just take and you press the screwdriver through and press it through that hole. That'll help. This string is really good, so I can pretty well play with it and get it to work without having to fight for it. Okay. Now, I take it and it's come out this side. I take the end and I lace it back through the bottom. So we have this right here. Okay. Now is when we take our other nunchuck and we pull the string to make our width. However wide you want your nunchucks. A traditional way of finding out how wide you want it is you want it a little bit less than your wrist. So, you take it a little bit less than your wrist. The reason for that is for rolling. When you start rolling your nunchucks, you want it to roll around the wrist. And if it's too big for the wrist, it'll hang down and it won't roll. It'll just flop and it won't make a good contact and roll over. So, when you make your string, make sure it's not too long. So you take it, and then you relace going up from that top hole. just like we did in the first one. Now, we get into this. Make sure this entire time you're keeping an eye on how wide your string is, because it may move like it's doing on me. Now, we have our laced on this side. Now we need it laced on this side. So what we're going to do is we're going to bend our string a little bit. And we're going to try and get up through that hole at the top, just like that. If it doesn't, use a screwdriver. So we should be right here. Make sure your length's right. Now, if you want to, right now, you can just tie it off right here, and you'll be done. I personally like to have more rope. It gives me that sense of security. So, take it back through again, the bottom of the first nunchuck. Go all the way through till you have it like that. And then you simply repeat the process. You take and you lace it up through the center of that nunchuck to the top till you get that. And then, just like we did earlier, you lace it through this side. Now this side, it doesn't matter which side you go with, because you've already laced both sides. And then you lace it through the bottom, just like this. Make sure your width is still good. If it isn't, just tighten it up a little bit. It's not a big deal. Readjusting may happen, especially the first time you do this. I have to readjust, and I've done this a lot of times. So, take your string, and you relace it through the top. By now, it's probably getting more difficult to lace it through. If you have thinner string, it's better, but if it's thicker, you probably don't need to do this last step and do multiple, lace through here. If you have thicker string, the first set that I showed you earlier would be plenty. Okay. Now, this is important. At the very end, you have 2 strings on this side and only 1 string on this side. This is where our other string is coming out. This is the side we want to come out on. So make sure you press the string through that side. Okay? Simple as that. Starting to resemble some nunchucks, right? Alright, now you untie the other side we tied at the very start. So you have this like this. Now you can see I have quite a bit left over. It's not a big deal. I'll just cut it off. So now we have this. You simply just tie it in a knot. However knot you want to do, just make sure you don't over tighten, because the strings will move. So just get you a good little base, and then you put your knot in it. Make sure it's very tight. Now, normally I'd stop here, but just because I'm scared of it breaking or coming loose, I put yet another knot in it. You don't have to do this. This is just for my own personal well-being. So now here we go. We have the nunchucks all ready to go. Strings right here. Now for the super glue. I know you were wondering about it. Here's why. I like super glue best, especially for this situation. You simply take the knot that you just tied, and you take and you put a few drops of super glue on it. You let it dry. You then do some on the other side. Make sure it's good and coated, where all the points where it could come loose are taken care of. Now that you've done that, and your super glue is now drying or has already dried, I suggest letting it dry. For the video, I'm going to go ahead and show you. You take your scissors and you just simply cut off the ends. Now, take the super glue again. And now where you just cut them off, make sure you get some super glue on them as well, because you don't want them to pull out. If that happens, your nunchucks are going to go flying. So you've got to make sure it's good and tight. If you don't want to use super glue, or you don't have super glue, hot glue gun works just as well. That's what most nunchucks are made with to begin with. They're not as strong, I don't think, but if that's all you got, that's all you got. So I prefer super glue. Okay, make sure you get the wood and plastic version, not the metal, because the metal super glue won't work. It won't stick. I don't know why, but it won't. So you got that. Just pull it tight. Make sure it fits in your groove real nice. And there you have it. Your newly strung nunchucks. Hope this video helped. Have a nice day.